So who of you loves to be alone? I say that because my partner is away for 2 nights this weekend and I love him dearly. He's wonderful, he's sweet, he's kind, but I'm somebody who needs that alone time. And I'm sure I'm not alone in needing alone time. I'm sure a lot of you guys also feel the same way. And it's lovely to just do your own thing, watch what you want to watch on TV, eat what you want to eat. Okay, I've got my son with me, but it's not the same. When you have a partner, there's this like you've got to do things together. What are we eating for supper? What are we watching on TV? What are we doing to fill our time? What are we doing this weekend? And it's great, but there is a time and a place for just not doing that. I mean, my kid will get on with homework. He'll play games on his computer if he wants to. I will help him this weekend with his homework, but it's not the same level of togetherness. And I don't know, you know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm trying to put it into words. And it's not a burden, but sometimes it can be burdensome when you just need that downtime and that decompression. I don't know if you'd hear the birds outside. It's late afternoon as I'm recording this. It is 3:30 on a Friday afternoon. Thank God we've had some sun. We've had a lot of rain here in South Africa lately, on the East Coast where it rains in spring. So yeah, I've also been a bit like, not depressed, but the seasonal affect disorder where the weather, like eventually after 4 or 5 days of rain nonstop, I'm just like, come on now, enough already. So anyway, so today was sunny, and like this evening, I don't have to cook. We're going to do McDonald's, which I know is not healthy, but my son loves McDonald's and it's still not that bad. I mean, he's getting the meat in the burger patty, and they do say it's 100% beef. And I know there's a whole lot of misconceptions about McDonald's that it's not 100% beef, that they put soya in, but how can they say 100% beef unless it is 100% beef? So I'm going to take them at their word for it. And yeah, so my kid likes the plain cheeseburgers. I will probably have, my favorite is a quarter pounder with cheese, just the plain quarter pounder. I don't eat chips. I'm not a fan of chips. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of the oil, the grease, the starchiness of a potato. I'm not a fan of mashed potatoes. Sorry if you are. We can still be friends. I'm not a fan of potatoes in general. And my best friend, it's her thing. She loves potato. In fact, she loves boiled or jacket potatoes with butter. And to me, that's the worst meal I could ever have. But there you go. Different strokes for different folks. So that is happening tonight and tomorrow. Oh, the day is open. It's all mine. And I think that is the blessing of some alone time, is the day is all mine. Yes, there's my son, but I can wake up at my leisure, eat what I want for breakfast. Okay, normally we do our own breakfast, but I do eat weird things. And as you guys have heard, like I make this gelatine pudding. What I did today for breakfast tomorrow was, for breakfast today, and again, I mean, I give diet advice, but don't always follow what I eat. I had half of a Starbucks chocolate muffin, which I'd had from before. It was in the freezer, but it's got a bit of a chemical taste, to be honest. No, it's a McDonald's one, not a Starbucks one. It's a McDonald's muffin. You can see I frequent McDonald's quite a lot. And that muffin, yeah, it's very cocoa-y. It's a dark chocolate, cocoa-y, dark chocolate, but it's got some kind of a funny taste. So I thought, let me mix it with something. So I put 1 whole egg. I found liquid egg whites, again, finally at Woolworths here. So I put some liquid egg whites with a bit of peanut butter, which, I can't break this habit lately. I need to break it. And I beat that up with a little bit of milk, and then I added a bit of sweetener. So now what I've done is I've increased the protein using the muffin for carbs and fat. Okay, and the peanut butter. And that will be like my breakfast. It's kind of like a bit naughty. Oh, and I added some more cocoa powder to make it more chocolatey. So it's a bit naughty, but it's still got the protein and the egg whites. And Yeah, so I'm going to have that for breakfast tomorrow, that if I feel like it. I know I should be eating healthier. I'm trying. I'm not quite there yet. Again, for those of you who watched I'm getting back into healthy eating and exercise. My exercise is coming back nicely. Did I go 3 or 4 times this week to gym? I ran today. I think I'm going to run tomorrow just because the sun is out. And when the sun is out, I don't know what it is, but I just love to run. My mother thinks I'm crazy, but anyway, it must be my father's genes. He was a comrades runner. He ran ultra marathons. I believe he started 18 of them. I think 2 or 3 he didn't finish. He finished 16. An ultra marathon is 90, it's about 89, 90 kilometers, the Comrades Marathon. So if you Google it, you'll see it's this big, not fancy, but it's this very hilly course here where I live in KZN. And once upon a time, I qualified. I entered and I qualified. I never did it because just before a big training run that we were going to do before, I got sick with cold, flu, whatever. So I'd done the 2 marathons, I'd qualified, and I never did the big training run. And I felt a marathon is 42 kilometers. This Comrades Marathon is 90. How the hell was I going to just do double the distance without doing like an in-between of 60 kilometers, a training run? So I didn't do the Comrades, unfortunately, and I never have really wanted to train for it again. I think it's heavy on time commitment, although it's lovely. With a running club, it is lovely. You get to meet people, make good friends, and you actually bond through the pain and you bond through the trauma of going through marathons. So it's lovely, we bonded, but these early morning wake up times to go and do your training runs, the long Sunday run, like you'd wake up at about 3:30 to get ready to go for a run at 4:30. You start early so that you can get in this long run before, hopefully you're back by 8, 9 o'clock. It's great. I remember such a feeling of achievement every Sunday after I did this long run. By 8 o'clock, the world is only just waking up. People are just going about their business. And here I've completed 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, watching the sunrise. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. However, I think it's just not a priority in my life right now. Sleep is more important. And with all of that training and the fact that, it takes one bout of sickness and all that training is for nothing and you don't get to do your marathon, I just felt like, what's the point? I'd rather do 5, 10 kilometers. And yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at for now. But what I've learned is that feelings can change and your life circumstances can change. And maybe one day when my kid is out of school, I have more time and I end up wanting to do something like that again. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But there's a story that I really wanted to share with you ladies from my kids' school. So this group came to the school. They're trying to educate the kids on their bodies, on sexuality, on what's right and wrong, boundaries, abuse, how to handle difficult situations. And one of the exercises that they did was they drew like an outline of a body on a piece of paper, and they got the kids to write, I think we'll put stickers on the body of body parts that the kids liked about themselves and body parts that they didn't like about themselves. And I was so happy. I was so happy that my son said he really didn't find any part that he didn't like. He found his whole body was useful. My dear sweet boy. And he said that he stuck a sticker on the hands for the body part that he liked about himself, because he said his hands are so useful. And I was like, that is perfect. What a practical, beautiful, totally good answer. Your hands should be treasured and seen. I've never even thought of that. As a girl, growing up as a girl, I've never thought of the practicality of my hands, and to say that My hands are the body part that I love. This is such a wonderful thing. It's a boy thing, I think, because boys are taught they have to go out and do something in the world. They are taught to be doers. So anyway, he put his hands, and he said he couldn't really find anything wrong with his body, but I think he put his knees or his ankles, because sometimes they hurt when he runs. I think it's growing pains, these big joints. I mean, these joints, you know what it's like if you've ever had children, teenagers, they're just suddenly growing into these long gangly bodies, and their limbs and their joints are growing so fast. Anyway, but he was saying that some people had put that they don't like their thighs, and I said that was probably a girl. It was probably a girl who put that she didn't like her thighs. And then it broke my heart because I just knew it was a girl. Like, there was no doubt in my mind. I knew that the child who didn't like the thighs was a girl. And because he said, how do you know it's a girl? How do you know it's a girl? Maybe it's a boy. And I said, I think it's a girl, because society still to this day is teaching girls to not like the size of their bodies, to not like the size of their thighs. And these children are 15. That is where I'm going with the story. These children are 15. How young. And I remember it started young with me too. It started, I'm going to say 12-ish. I started to see and compare. And I've said it before, I think, here on this channel. My mother used to buy the Cosmopolitan magazines, the Fair Lady magazines, and there was another one, Femina. I don't even know if Femina still exists, but anyway, women's magazines. And they were full of this nonsense: how to reduce the size of your thighs, how to get him to like you, how to improve your relationship. Like, the onus is always on the bloody woman to improve the relationship as well. The relationship quiz, your personality, what is your look, what is your makeup style, what does your makeup say about you, what do your clothes say about you, what does your, again, it's all appearance. Back then especially, I think it might have changed now, but back then especially, these magazines were so focused on women being the givers in a relationship. So it was always on the relationship, and then women being the pretty things, the decorative things. Not much about career, a little bit with Cosmo, a little bit about the boss girl, career girl thing, that came a bit, but very much homemaking, recipes. Yeah, recipes, homemaking, sewing patterns, some more homemaking, I guess. Fashion, beauty, skincare, relationship advice, relationship quizzes, and then Cosmopolitan, big on the sex in bed, the whole thing. And it's like, what message did I take? That we women must be pleasing our men at all times. We must look pleasing at all times. We must look pretty at all times, fashionable, well-dressed, keep a good home. I mean, really, that is the messaging. That was the messaging. And I hope and pray, and I think it is changing. Maybe some of you guys can tell me whether it is changing, but I hope and pray that girls today are getting a bit more of a balanced message. I'm not saying that girls shouldn't want to homemake. And of course, it's our biological drive to have children and to nurture. And I think that's wonderful. It's all I want to do for my son, is just be the mother and nurture. That's great. But I do think we also need to teach our girls that they can create stuff, they can work, they can be doers in the world. And or if they want to be homemakers and stay-at-home mothers, that's also very valuable and wonderful if they find a partner who values that. You know, you cannot be a stay-at-home mother and feel good about yourself if your partner doesn't agree and help you feel good about that role that you are fulfilling. That is so precious. It is so precious. But if it's not being valued and you are feeling like maybe you've got to account for every cent you spend and he doesn't make you feel equal in this relationship, it is not going to work, and you are going to feel like shit, and it's going to take away from the whole experience, at least in my humble opinion. If I had a daughter, which I don't, and maybe, thank goodness, I don't know. I always thought I would have one, but I don't have one. If I had a daughter, I would hope that she does find something that she could make a career out of, or some kind of lifelong work, or she can swap, I guess she can change jobs. But I would hope that she would think a lot more about money making than I did. I do feel like I've missed the boat on that one. I really kind of did feel like I grew up still far more prepared to be a stay-at-home mother than a career woman. And I saw my mom go to work, but it was always the secretarial position, which was always, again, it's a career supporting a man, the boss. And then you go home and you support the husband, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with these things. But I guess what I'm saying is I never really had a boldness in me to go and make my way in the world. And it's also not my nature, to be honest, to be very honest. Somehow, or whatever, I don't know how our natures get formed, but I've never wanted to climb a corporate ladder. To me, it just feels too rulesy, too much of this greedy ambition. And I'm not saying that making money makes people greedy, but you know what I mean. These big corporations, it becomes like money, sales, targets. I worked in sales. That's how I know. These targets are just drummed and drilled into, and eventually it's just like enough already. I've always felt, to be honest, quite soft, too soft sometimes for the world, if I'm being very honest. I do feel like sometimes I don't cut it. I don't have the balls to be bold and make something of myself. And I don't know, the world seems to value these very grandiose, loud, bold people that just shout. And I wish on the internet that we could just be quieter. Sometimes YouTube even makes me like, I just want to, it's too noisy, it's too busy. And I open up YouTube, especially on the PC, and you just see all these thumbnails shouting at you. But if you don't play the game, you do get lost in the noise. And so I always think, sure, maybe I'm not even, sometimes I think that. Sometimes I think, no, I am cut out for YouTube, because we need a quieter, more soft-spoken, more real person on YouTube. We need her, and that's me. And I'm a small, quiet voice in this shouting sea of people on YouTube. Try and keep it real. I still have to do, and I do sometimes feel bad for it, the weight loss videos, the clickbait videos. Even though when I do them, I always think, what is the bottom line? What is the truth of weight loss? And I'm not a doctor, so obviously there are medical conditions that, can not be taken into consideration. Like, I don't know, Cushing's disease and these diseases where people do apparently just gain. I don't know how, but, so when I put out weight loss advice, I stand by what I say, but I still sometimes feel there is more to life. And one of you had pointed out in a comment that I seem a bit conflicted. That's because I am. I am conflicted, because I obviously want my channel to reach people, and weight loss seems to be what people want and why they came, and that's brilliant, because I understand the struggle, and weight loss is a struggle, let's face it, for so many of us. For me too. Maybe that's also why I can talk about it. I do struggle with it. It's not easy. I think I do understand how it works. Well, I know I understand how it works. So, but I do feel conflicted in that there is so much more to life. There is so much more to you. You're a whole complex being that your body doesn't define you. Your body doesn't define everything about you and inside of you. So if you lost 10 kilograms and looked like really svelte and what society deems as gorgeous and sexy, yes, you'll feel good. You'll fit into your pair of jeans that you wanted to fit back into. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it's a good feeling. I know that feeling. It's lovely. But there's more to you than that. And I also want to go there. This is fine. Weight loss is fine, and it's healthy to be at a healthy weight. But obviously there's a level of weight loss where it's healthy, and then too low is not healthy. And again, I try to always make it about the healthy weight loss. But anyway, I suppose the point was, how does somebody who is more quiet, more introverted, more shy, and who has an aversion to bullshit, how does she make it on YouTube? I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll see. We'll see, because sometimes even I wonder, like, how the hell am I going to keep doing this? You know, and I hope you guys can get the genuineness of where I'm trying to go with this channel. It's hard. It's like rolling a stone up the hill sometimes. Sometimes it goes really well. Sometimes the videos do really well. Sometimes the growth happens fast and then it slows down. And I just need to see it as a game. I'm trying to just roll with the waves. But it's actually an allegory for life. I find running is like a metaphor for life. Metaphor is the word, sorry, not allegory. Running and YouTube. It's like the ups and the downs, the successes and the failures. You do one thing, it works, you try it again, it doesn't work again. The same thing with running. You have these good days and these bad days. You'll run with a certain form and you will fly one day, and you'll start off and you'll try and get there the next day and it just doesn't work. You're not feeling it. So yeah, I guess the secret to anything, if there is a secret, is just keep going, put in the reps. And I suppose things will happen. Something will come of it eventually, and we'll just see where this goes. But I really just wanted to come on here, connect with you guys, talk to you guys, share from my heart as always. You know, it's not easy being a human being on the planet. It's not easy being alive. Life is difficult. Life is hard. There is no such thing as an overnight success. And here is a cliche that I love. It's so true. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And that goes for hair care products, for skincare products. I mean, I've really learned over the years, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. For magic miracle cellulite creams, for weight loss pills, weight loss waist shrinkers, none of these things are magic miracles. There isn't such a thing. Investment schemes, money-making schemes, pyramid schemes, relationships, if they seem too good to be true, they probably are. There is no one on planet Earth who is the perfect person. There is no like holy grail miracle perfection thing. And even when you get very calm and still and meditate and you find your zen, the next day it's gone. The next day something happens and poof, it's gone. And you have to try and get there all over again. And then you think, why, Lord, did it disappear? I was feeling so calm. I feel like I had it, and now I don't. And that's life. And that is the reality of life. But anyway, I just love coming on here and chatting like this, just the reality of life, really. I love this stuff. I mean, I enjoy the weight loss. I enjoy the running videos. I enjoy talking about fitness and health, but I also, this also gets my juices flowing. So that's it, I think. We will connect and chat deeply again soon. Love you guys.